What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? As you can see, I got a haircut. It is a little short, but it's all right. I'll grow back. If you don't know me, my name's Dodgy. In this video, I'm going to be going over inversions I do not like, and I'm actually going to use some from today because I felt like today was a good day. If you don't know who I am, I'm Dodgy. I live stream every day. If you want to watch my live streams, just click the link in the description, and then use code Dodgy, 71% off discount. I've already made a video on Apex, and it's called The Advantage of Prop Firms. Go watch it. Apex is really good. Buy a few accounts. Hopefully they're having another sale soon, but I don't know when they're going to do that. So for now, it's going to be 71% off using codes Dodgy. All right, so let's get started. So I always make these videos, and they're always like, what inversion for every leg up? So in this video, I'm going to be going over inversion for every leg ups that I don't like. And they all have their own kind of own little thing on why I don't like them. Okay, first example will be right here. So right here, we kind of see two fair value gaps, and it looks really obvious. I know. Okay, it looks really obvious. So we have a 1 minute fair value gap here, and you probably think, well, oh, if we violate this, we're going to violate this. But that's actually not the case, and this is exactly why I don't ever touch inversions that have two of them here. So there's actually two of them there. So you don't know that we're going to dump until this one breaks. So unfortunately, this one is a no-go, and it would not be a good short. I do like, however, that we took out some liquidity, and what people don't realize is they think we have to take out all the liquidity, and we don't actually have to take out this high. As long as we take out some sort of internal liquidity, you can short. However, this one right here is just not a good short because there's two of them. Now, what happens when I go to the 2 minute time frame? This happens. However, you have to understand that this was almost lunchtime. We had FOMC minutes, and that's really going to gauge the market a little bit. So knowing we have FOMC minutes, why would you even trade this in the first place? Now, let's say you did short this one. It would have been a break-even trade. Why? Because when we close below, we hit that new internal swing low on this candle. So it would have been a break-even trade anyways. It's not a bad thought process, but you have to understand that if you ever see the market, in this example here, this is more of a liquidity standpoint. If you ever see the market hit a low here and a low here, until we break out one of these again, you don't have your manipulation. Like, you don't know what the manipulation is. So we have the manipulation here. We have the manipulation here. Everything inside this box, you have no idea what's going to happen. No idea until we break one of these lines again that swept the low. So we know the manipulation is a low that sweeps another low that already swept the previous liquidity. So this would be your manipulation because it's sweeping a high that swept another high. And then this would be your kind of sell side grab. And then this would be your other manipulation. So whenever we have these, whenever we take sell side here and buy side here, and by the way, keep in mind, this was a 15-minute fair value gap. My iFVG cheat sheet is free for 7 days. Grab it in my Discord before it goes private again. You do not want to trade until we get another manipulation leg. And by another manipulation leg, I just mean another leg where we sweep a low that sweeps this low. And that actually usually creates a breakaway gap, okay? And this was actually a breakaway gap right here because we swept this low that actually swept this low here, and that tells us, okay, now the bias is probably bearish. This is a breakaway gap, however, so you'd wait for this to be swept, and then you look for a short. And again, it all ties in with, okay, we had FOMC minutes as well today, so why would you even play anything going up to this? But long story short, I don't really like this one because it's just the 1 minute held. Wasn't really a concrete bias. The only times I'm ever going to play setup before a news event like FOMC minutes is if it's A++++. And this wasn't clear to me, especially with the 1 minute kind of being down here. I did like the LR here, but still, FOMC minutes, we still never closed below this. I probably would have liked this better if we kind of closed below this, because we would have closed below this and the 2 minute, and especially with us being in between this low and this high right here that we didn't really manipulate over, you don't really know the bias inside this range. So that brings me to my next one right here. Now, this one was actually a break-even trade again, or you could have scaled half because we closed above it and we did hit the internal liquidity, so it would have been a break-even trade. However, I didn't really like it because, again, same thing as before. We are still inside this range where this low swept this low and this high swept this high inside a 15-minute fair value gap. So until we break out of the range, I don't really like anything. Now, can you guess where we're going to break out? Sure, you could be like, well, I think we're going to break this low resistance liquidity. You could always guess, but you don't really know for sure, and that's why it's not really good to take anything. All right. So that's that. This setup I liked as well. I think this is a really good setup as well. And I actually, this was the only trade of the day I took. So I took this setup here along when he broke over. I sold here and I sold here. But going back to the last two examples, I don't like this one because we're just 250-50. The only reason I like this one a lot more is because momentum. We put in a really big candle here with really nice down close candles, making this a really nice OB. So I figured for this trade, we'd at least hit this internal high, making it a free trade / a scalp trade. This one is all right momentum, but it closes way too close to the next internal liquidity as to where this one closes right above, so it makes it nicer RR. And this one just absolutely had no momentum going through it at all. Okay, even this 2 minute, just no momentum at all. So didn't really like that one. This is the only one I like today. Another one right here. I did not like this one this morning, and I called this on my live stream because, again, we swept the low already. We didn't need to sweep a low that already swept the low. And you can see it would have been a break-even trade / a scale trade. You can see we kind of hit this low, and then we go back up. And if I'm not mistaken, an NQ, which I will go to right now, I think these were equal lows. Yep, they were. So it would have been a break-even trade, but it's another one where I don't like it because we already swept a low, and we don't have to go back to that low that sweeps another low, especially a major one. Okay, like this low is low day, and it sweeps sell side over here, so I don't have to go back here right away, and that's what people don't understand. Same thing with this. We don't have to go back to a high that swept a high inside of a fair value gap. This being the fair value gap, and again, I know it sounds complicated, but this is just stuff you're gonna pick up over time through watching my videos or through watching anyone else. This one I didn't mind this one because of momentum, but there was no entry. We closed way too far below the last one. On the 3 minute there was kind of two fair value gaps, and or the 4 minute, the 5 minute there was two. Yeah, just overall not a really good one. I mean, maybe you could have taken it off the 5 off of this candle because we closed below both these at the same time. But it's just, we're still in between that range where we didn't hit the low, we didn't hit the high, and we don't know which one to hit first. So I actually do like this one because at this point we finally swept the manipulation leg here. So now we have a little more direction. And I like this one because it's an obvious down close candle and then big up. Again, really fast liquidity sweep. Not one I take, obviously, because risk reward. Again, it's not good risk reward to the guaranteed target, which would be here almost. Not guaranteed every time, obviously, but you'd probably target here, move south to break even here. But this internal high wasn't really a good target. So that's that. Another one I didn't really like was this one, and I almost took this on demo, and my trading view wouldn't load. And what happened is I literally almost took it, and I get on the chart. I didn't realize that these were a data low. So if you look at the 1 minute chart, this is a data low at 2 o'clock or 2:01 from FOMC minutes. Okay, you can even see in the 2 minute, it's the 2 o'clock candle. So with that being said, I don't really like this one because I do not trade along with data lows below. But if you didn't know there's data, what else gives that away? Same situation as before. We swept the high here and we swept the low here, right? So now that we're kind of in between buy side and sell side, we swept both. Do you really know what direction we're going to go here? No, because we don't have to sweep the high that sweeps another high, and we don't have to sweep the low that sweeps another low. And these are both really obvious. So you don't really know which way is going to work. Same thing on why I don't like this one. I mean, this one's all right because we had decent momentum, but we closed below and hit the candle at the same time, so just not one I'd like. This one, don't like it. You guys obviously know why. There's too many free value gaps in the leg. This one, don't like it, and you're probably like, well, this looks good. I know it looks good, but we have NVIDIA earnings at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. I don't like anything happening here. This one, not terrible, but we have NVIDIA earnings. It did work. All right. It did work. It was a break-even trade. And this one, same thing. We don't have to sweep the high that already swept this high, so I don't like this one either. Now, let's say these are equal highs, or let's say this wick was a little more down. Would I like this one? Yes, I would. So you can kind of see those little nuances. I mean, we have NVIDIA earnings, so that's like the big decider. But again, just another one I don't like. This one, I do not mind this one. I'm not gonna lie. This one is a little better. It's very low. We didn't really sweep below that. I mean, we kind of had this really nice target up here, so this wasn't bad. You would have moved stop to break even, so I scale here, and then your target for the rest would have been here. So that's that. Now it looks like this play is working, but I don't care. It's not what I'd like, just because NVIDIA earnings, and we swapped this high already, so we don't need to hit this high again. And it's not like this is a setup that's never going to work. It's a setup where it will work sometimes, just not. It's not going to have that high accurate win rate. It's going to be that like 50-60% win rate setup right here. So that's just a video on a few ones I liked and didn't like. Same thing with this 2-minute. This is going to be the last one I go over. I didn't like this 2-minute because, again, we have NVIDIA earnings. The market kind of just expanded big time here. And also, this one is actually against the bias. So we actually just closed below this hourly. And I really hope you are confused about this video, because there's so many different nuances that makes me take a play or not take a play. Like this one, I mean, we're very low in the range, so I wouldn't mind along, but you got to realize you're probably going against the bias. We have a big inverse hourly here, and again, it's just risky, man. So that one did work. Again, not one I like, because look at this. We're just in time distortion. Of course this is going to work sometimes. It's not going to work every time, but of course this is going to be a trade that works. So and I do like this one. I will admit, I do like this one if we get it, this 5-minute. So if we get this one, I like, because it's obvious. We're very low. And even if we are bearish, I'd maybe expect a retracement to like this, maybe these relative equal highs, and then this LRLR. So I actually kind of do like this one just because of that reason, very low. And yeah, there's a lot of different reasons for me not liking versus liking some. Hopefully this video helped you a bit. I'm going to make another video going over in live time of FxReplay, of me actually calling these setups live instead of just hindsight, so you can kind of see. But I'll explain these little things that make me not like make me not like an inverse as much. So if you made it to the end of this video, come toward light. And yeah, let's see how many people made it to the end. But that is it for now. I'll see you guys later, and peace. So the funny thing is, as I was actually recording that video, I said I really like this one, I think, at the end of the video, and I was just about to upload it, but then this actually play triggered. So I got in here right before it was about to close. I'm already up. I already scaled some for 40 points here. I alerted this in Discord. And yeah, if you can see, I just alerted that. Again, it's more of a lotto because NVIDIA earnings. But again, LRLR above, a lot of momentum. I mean, there's nothing really wrong with this setup. So, yeah, really nice play. Hopefully it hits this will be about 75 points if it fully hits. So hopefully that hits. That'll be cool. But yeah, pretty cool. Learned to play in live time. Again, I said I liked it, and this momentum is really good. So